This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
It's The Other Side of Midnight with Frank Morano.
I have invited every presidential candidate on this program. And the candidates that I have been most eager to feature on this program have been the third-party candidates, irrespective of their ideological beliefs, because there has been not quite a media blackout, but a huge disparity in the media coverage that the third-party candidates are getting as opposed to the coverage that everybody else is getting. And I am of the naive belief that all the candidates that are qualified for an office should be covered the same way. And I think elections would be a lot better off if that were the case. So someone that I've been very eager to have on this program is Randall Terry. He is a Christian activist. He is the founder of Operation Rescue, and he is the Constitution Party nominee for president. Randall, it's great to have you on the program. Thanks for joining me.
Frank, it's my privilege, and I appreciate your kind words about third-party candidates. Thank you, sir.
You know, Randall, a lot of people may have first learned about you yesterday because one of your ads aired, essentially during the World Series. Tell me about that. I mean, why choose the World Series rather than, say, running it during a major news event? World Series is a time when maybe a lot of less politically inclined people might be watching, as opposed to, say, advertising on the Fox News channel. Tell me about that decision.
Well, first of all, we do advertise on Good Morning America, CBS Morning News, The View, Jimmy Kimmel, ABC World News Tonight, CBS Evening News. We're going hard and heavy at it. But as you know, in politics, it's about messaging and eyeballs or ears. And we knew that there would be millions, probably over 10 million people watching. And most of them are voters. And right now, as you know, ballot initiatives in 10 different states are going to be on the ballot to kill innocent babies up until the day of birth. And this is a Holocaust. And I wanted those people to have the truth put in front of them. And for someone, me evidently, to say to them, you can't vote for this. If you vote for this, you're voting to kill Jesus in the womb, because of the words of Christ when he said, what you do to children, you do to me. And so I said, hey, you want to? If you kill a baby in the womb, it's like killing Jesus in the womb. It's a hard-hitting message, and it's a kind of message you really only need to say it once.
So, Randall, obviously, I think everybody listening has a position on abortion and very strongly held beliefs on this. I don't know that everybody has been, in fact, I know nobody listening has been as active as you've been in the anti-abortion cause over the years. What sparked your initial activism in terms of the pro-life area? I know you've been at this for a long time.
Well, first of all, I grew up in a Democrat home, not a very religious home at all. And I became a Christian as a young man. And in my early 20s, I had a vision, literally. It was kind of crazy in a prayer meeting, and I saw thousands of people protesting, and I saw myself on the Phil Donahue show, I kid you not, which I ended up being on the Donahue show, and I didn't know what to do. It was not something I'd been trained to do. It was not part of my heritage in my family, but I literally just started standing in front of the local abortion clinic by myself. No literature, no science, nothing. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Excuse my language. I just literally did not know what I was doing. But I knew that I was supposed to do something. And my mom, I was conceived out of wedlock in the 1950s. And I could have been killed. And for whatever reason, I have just had, by the grace of God, this passion in my heart to see babies be alive, not dead. And you know, I'll tell you a story. When I was 8 years old, maybe 9, there were 3 girls that were abducted, raped, and murdered in Rochester, and they were all small, 6, 7, 8-year-old girls. And our teachers got us in the cafeteria during, like 10 in the morning or whatever, and showed all the kids this horrifying film of these girls and their remains being found to scare us so that we wouldn't go into a stranger's car. Well, one of the girls had gotten out of the car and was running down the road against traffic, running towards traffic naked, and 100 cars passed her, and no one stopped. Now, I'm 8, 9 years old, and I'm hearing this story, and all I could feel was rage at those 100 people. And that feeling has stuck with me, that I have a duty to do something. And, this isn't fun. I'm interrupting the World Series, but I, as much as I don't like that, I hate the fact that they're killing little human beings, and we have to do something. I have to do something. I will not be the person who drives by and doesn't do something.
At 30 minutes after the hour, this is The Other Side of Midnight. My guest is Randall Terry. He's the Constitution Party nominee for president. I want to talk a little bit about your candidacy and what your goals are here, but just on the abortion issue, a lot of Americans, including some conservatives, they view government intervention in personal health decisions as overreach. How do you address concerns that banning abortion infringes on individual freedoms, particularly those tied to bodily autonomy and personal choice?
I want to invite everybody who's listening to go to our website, terry2024.com, where you can see all the ads which address this question and other questions. Terry 2024. The end of the matter is this. I'm a libertarian at heart. I'm a Christian libertarian. The Constitution Party is what I call a theocentric libertarian party. We believe in the Constitution. We believe in God. We believe in Holy Scripture. The human being that is left in the garbage pail or now being sold by Planned Parenthood for thousands of dollars, that human being is a separate entity from the woman. We're not talking about whether someone gets a tattoo or any number of things that deal with physical autonomy. We're talking about a separate individual, a separate human. And I don't want to get into the debate, is it a person under the 14th Amendment? It's a human. It's not a toad. It's not a puppy. It's not a carrot or a piece of broccoli. It is a human being. And if being human isn't enough to be protected by law, then we're all screwed. We're all screwed.
So one thing that a lot of people do put in a different category is cases of rape, incest, and danger to the life of the mother. I know President Trump has stated that, as have a lot of conservatives. Where do you stand on that? Do you advocate for a strict no exception stance, or if a woman is raped or if a 14-year-old is raped by her uncle, should she be able to legally have an abortion?
Let's kill the uncle. Let's not kill the baby. I can never understand. It's a part of pagan culture that you kill children for the crimes of the father. I cannot imagine the horror of a 14-year-old being raped by her uncle. I can't imagine it. But killing the child thus conceived is not going to undo the rape. Let's talk about cutting the balls off of the uncle or executing him. So, and when it comes to the actual physical life of the mother, such as an ectopic pregnancy, a tubal pregnancy, that has never been illegal. It is not an abortion. And these and I say this respectfully, these hard cases, and they are hard cases. Number one, they make bad law, and number two, they're a smokescreen. When President Reagan signed the law in 1967, I believe it was, he was bamboozled. He was tricked. They told him he was governor, and they said, hey, there's a few people that are getting raped that are pregnant, and we've got to be able to, these women are, that's a horrible situation. And then suddenly, the numbers of women who were claiming to have been raped in California skyrocketed. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it became the open door to kill these babies. So I know that it sounds harsh on some ears, but if this truly is a unique human being that has been conceived in a horrific manner, let's not kill that baby. Let's help the mom. Let's support her. Let's show her all the compassion we can. And then let's bring the fire of justice on the rapist.
Mic check. 1, 2. Are we recording? Hi, I'm Michelle Bernstein, an award-winning chef, restaurateur, and mom. I have a lot on my plate, including my psoriatic arthritis symptoms. That's why I was prescribed Cosentyx. It helps me move better.
Cosentyx secukinumab is prescribed for people 2 years of age and older with active psoriatic arthritis. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like tuberculosis or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some were fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur. Learn more at 1-844-COSENTYX or Cosentyx.com.
Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentyx.
Choosing a bottled Starbucks Frappuccino drink that's all flavor and just 100 calories? Easy. Choosing between creamy vanilla, double chocolate, and sea salt caramel flavors? A little harder. Try the delicious new Starbucks Frappuccino light drinks. Look for them wherever you buy groceries. Start with Starbucks coffee.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
If you're just tuning in, I'm Frank Morano. This is The Other Side of Midnight. My guest is Randall Terry. He's the Constitution Party nominee for president. Randall, we have a lot of pro-life listeners, and a lot of them are thrilled with President Trump because he appointed the necessary number of Supreme Court justices to overturn Roe versus Wade with the Dobbs decision. And a lot of pro-life activists think of that as a huge step forward for the pro-life movement. Why are you running? Why not simply get in lockstep with where a lot of the other leaders in the pro-life movement are and supporting President Trump?
I am so happy you asked me this. I now beg all the pro-life listeners, I beg you in Jesus' name, go to our website and watch 2 or 3 of the ads. Our ads, Frank, are designed to do several things. Number one, defend babies. President Trump, thank God for him and that he gave us the judges to overturn Roe. But now, as we all know, he's backing away. I'm not. I'm defending babies. That's number one. Number two, I want to defeat Kamala, and I want to blow a hole in the side of the Democrat Party because the Democrat Party is at war with children. It is an evil institution. It is a fountain of malice and evil. That's the Democrat Party. So my ads they don't even say vote for me. They say don't vote for Kamala. If you vote for Kamala, you have blood on your hands.
Right, but
the ad that we shot today, I say I want Trump to win. But I'm trying to cause a crisis of conscience for the Catholic and the black evangelical who still votes Democrat. That's my target audience, just 2 or 3% of them to cause a crisis in their heart where they go, oh, my God, he's right. I can't vote for Kamala.
But if someone's listening to this show right now especially if they're in a swing state. North Carolina, for instance, Virginia, which is turning out to be a swing state, New Hampshire, or something along those lines. And they're really impressed by your message. And at the same time, they're a little turned off by President Trump doing something like saying he won't sign a national abortion ban. They may vote for you in one of these swing states. And that could, by extension, the logic goes, look, I'm a third party guy, but this is the conventional wisdom. That could cause Harris to win that state. In that respect, even though it's clear your enmity is focused on Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party, in that respect, don't you risk hurting Trump more than the Democrats?
No. It is conventional wisdom, but no. If you live in Wisconsin, if you live in Pennsylvania, if you live in Michigan, these are swing states. Don't vote for me if you're going to vote for Trump. Don't. If you're Catholic and you're a Democrat and you've historically voted Democrat, don't vote for Kamala. If you want to vote for me, fine, do it. But my goal, Frank, is to cause people who know God or believe in God and who've historically been Democrat to say, what the hell is going on with these people? They're cutting off little children's genitals and telling them they can change genders. They're promoting killing babies till the day of birth. This is evil. So, yes, conceptually, there could be a couple people listening to, oh, I'm going to vote for Randall. I'm excited. I don't want your vote. I want your money so I can run TV ads. Go and finance our ads, which tell people don't vote for these ballots in the 10 states in Florida and Arizona, et cetera, and then help us run the ads that are squarely aimed at black people. When you see our ads, Frank, tomorrow morning on The View and tomorrow night, I believe it is, on CBS World News or CBS News, my VP is black. My VP candidate is black. And he has done some of the most devastating ads. He says on national television that the Democrat Party is doing the work of the Ku Klux Klan, lynching black babies in the womb. No black man has ever said that. We're showing dead babies on TV, and then he says, look, if you're black and you vote for the Democrats, you are voting for black genocide.
Right.
That's devastating to the Democrat Party. That's devastating.
In a lot of ways, your candidacy is about an issue even more than the personalities involved.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's talk about the issues. So you're the Constitution Party nominee. I followed the Constitution Party for over 30 years. For people that don't know the history, it was originally called the U.S. Taxpayers Party, and then they changed the name to the Constitution Party. It was set up back in 1992 by Howard Phillips and some others as a vehicle for Pat Buchanan, who is somebody that I'm friendly with and have an enormous amount of admiration for, to run as a third-party candidate had he chose to do that back in 1992. Ultimately, he didn't. So Howard Phillips ran in 92, 96, and 2000, and then there's been a series of other candidates since 2000. Now, the Constitution Party is about a lot more than just abortion. They're about very strong borders. They're about not getting involved in foreign wars. They're about fair trade rather than free trade. It's clear that your issue emphasis has been abortion. Are you sort of a one-issue candidate, or do you buy into the whole basket of Constitution Party beliefs?
I do buy in the basket, and what's funny, it would be really cool for us to look back at our journals or whatever and see if we were ever in the same meetings. Mm-hmm. I used to travel with Howard. I helped him start the party. I had a nationally syndicated radio show back in the day, and I used my influence to hold big rallies and have Howard come and speak. He asked me to be his vice presidential candidate one election cycle. So I loved Howard. He was a friend and a brilliant, brilliant mind. And I agreed with him on 97, 98% of policy stuff. and was happy, only too happy, to help him and to use my assets and friendships and relationships to help start the party. So I love the Constitution Party, but as a person in the party, because we believe in God, we actually believe that God's laws matter and that they're true. Blood talks to God. Human blood talks to God. Blood is crying from the ground. And if America, let's say we fix the border, we stop inflation, we get fair trade deals, you go down the list. We stop being the world's policemen, but we don't stop killing our children. We're still not going to survive as a republic because blood cries for vengeance and God hears the blood. So, yes, child killing for the party is a number one issue. You can see it in our platform. And yes, there are other issues that matter and that justice demands we address. But I've gone out of my way to raise money to run these TV ads so that the number one issue for our party, and more importantly, the number one issue for our nation and from the eyes of heaven, that number one issue takes front and center place. And by the way, Frank, as you and I both know, when Kamala started her godless campaign, she said abortion was her number one issue over and over and over. She's a baby killer. This is an evil woman, a disgusting human being. And my ads say that without flinching, without equivocation. And Pastor Broden, he's a black preacher, Pastor Broden's ads say it even more forcefully. This man has redefined the pro-life movement. And I'll tell you one other thing that breaks my heart. I don't know, what are we almost out of time?
Well, just about. I had one other thing that I was going to ask you, which is I think maybe what you're leading to. And then, I'm sure we'll chat again in the future. I've been informed that even though you've been a lifelong pro-life activist, that a lot of elements of the pro-life movement have turned on you. How come? What's going on? You would seem to me you're their number one guy.
Well, there's a lot of reasons I don't understand. It's been so disappointing. Not one major pro-life group, not one, has helped us. Priests for Life, 40 Days for Life, Live Action, Students for Life, Family Research Council, all of them have turned their backs on us and been hostile. Some of them have been hostile to us. And I don't know if it's jealousy. I don't know if it's fear. I don't know if it's they want to be in the establishment. They want to go to the party. I don't know if it's they want to raise money for their own thing. There was one of the pro-life groups was disgusting. They were raising money. Listen to this. $2,000, they said, and we'll reach 400 television viewers. That's obscene. We spend $2,000 on an ad for The View. $2,000 for The View, and reach 2.3 million people.
Wow.
So if somebody wants to give $2,000 tonight, we'll run an ad on The View to reach 2.3 million people. And this pro-life group, Students for Life, was trying to raise money for an ad that will never run. It's abominable to me. I don't know what's going to happen, Frank, but I'm telling you right now, the pro-life establishment is why we have child killing. They don't use the right tools. They don't use the right rhetoric. They don't show dead babies. They don't call it murder. How are you going to fight against a hideous injustice, say like anti-Semitism? If you're fighting against anti-Semitism, you show pictures of the Jews dead in concentration camps. If you fight racism, you show pictures of black men hung or water cannons and dogs. You show the victims. And these pro-life groups won't show the victims. They won't call it murder. They won't use the historic tools of social revolution. And that's why we're getting our asses beat in the political realm. Excuse my language, but that is exactly what is happening.
All right. We're going to have to end it there. Randall Terry, if people want to check out your website, they can certainly do so. They can see some of the ads that you've referred to here. The website is terry2024.com. Best of luck to you. We'll talk again soon.
Thanks, Frank, for having me. All the best to you, sir.
Thank you. If you want to comment, you can do so at 646-720-0635. That's 646-720-0635. This is The Other Side of Midnight. Straight ahead.
Feel like you're stuck in career limbo? Clock in, clock out, repeat. no growth, no new opportunities. It's time to break out and break into tech. With CBT Nuggets, you can start building the IT skills that companies are hiring for right now. We make training fast, simple, and practical. From networking to cybersecurity, you'll get short, easy-to-watch videos and hands-on virtual labs so you can build real-world skills without expensive gear or complicated setups. For just $59 a month, you get unlimited access to our full training library. That includes certifications, skill-based learning, and practice exams, a $100 value included free. Learn anytime, anywhere, and get job ready on your terms. Thousands have used CBT Nuggets to launch new careers, and you can too. Right now, CBT Nuggets is offering a free trial. Easily find the training you need and test it out with no commitment. Start your 7-day free trial now at cbtnuggets.com. Don't wait. A better job is just a few clicks away.